All right, we need to talk. There's a major security alert out for a tool that, let's be honest, is probably on your computer right now. Notepad++. And listen, this isn't just some random bug. We are talking about a seriously sophisticated hack that ran silently for months, and all the evidence is pointing directly to a nation-state.
We're going to break down exactly how this happened and, most importantly, what you need to do about it. If you want to stay ahead of threats like this, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button for @BrandTechAuth. Okay, let's get into it. I want you to really think about this for a second. That simple, reliable program you use every single day, the one you don't even think twice about, what if it was actually a secret backdoor for government spies? I know, it sounds like a plot from a movie, but this isn't fiction. This is real, and it just happened.
So, our story doesn't start with a big, loud alarm. It starts more like a whisper. A series of quiet, really strange digital break-ins were happening across some of the world's most sensitive industries. Something was definitely wrong, but nobody could figure out the connection.
And when you look at who got hit, wow, it reads like a who's who of high-value targets. We're talking government agencies, major telecoms, the aviation industry, even critical infrastructure. As investigators started digging, they noticed this one really crucial pattern. All of these organizations had major interests in East Asia.
So the race was on, right? They had to find that hidden connection. How could hackers get into so many different, highly secure networks? Well, the answer wasn't a weak firewall or a clever phishing email. No, it was something way more sinister, hiding in plain sight on millions of computers.
And that, my friends, brings us to the big, shocking reveal. The weapon that was used in this whole campaign wasn't some obscure piece of malware you've never heard of. It was a tool beloved by developers, writers, and IT pros all over the world. That's right, Notepad++, the free, open-source text editor that everybody loves and trusts. It was turned into a Trojan horse. The very software people use to build and secure systems was actually weaponized to break right into them. Now, to really get your head around how big of a deal this is, you have to realize Notepad++ has been downloaded tens of millions of times. This gave the attackers a gigantic potential attack surface to launch their very specific, targeted attacks from. The developer of Notepad++, a guy named Don Ho, actually came out with a statement confirming the whole thing, and he personally apologized. And this just drives home the incredible pressure and responsibility that's on the shoulders of these developers, maintaining the critical open-source software that we all depend on.
So the big question is, how did they actually pull this off? Because believe me, this was not some simple smash-and-grab hack. This was a sophisticated supply chain attack that turned the software's own update feature against its users.
Okay, let's walk through this step by step. First, the hackers break into the server that hosts the Notepad++ website. Then, from there, they used a bug to essentially hijack some of those software update requests and redirect them to their own malicious server. So instead of getting a safe update, some users got a poisoned one, giving the attackers direct, hands-on keyboard access to their machines. And just look at this timeline. This wasn't some quick hit and run. The attackers had this access from June all the way through December. That is a full 6-month window where these guys were lurking in the shadows, completely undetected. So who would be patient enough to pull off such a targeted attack? Well, as security researchers picked apart the malware, they started finding these digital fingerprints that pointed away from your typical cybercriminals and straight towards a well-known government-backed espionage group.
This group goes by the name Lotus Blossom, and multiple security firms have linked their activities directly to the Chinese government. And you gotta understand, their goal usually isn't about money. It's about long-term intelligence gathering and spy.
And that right there is the crucial difference. A typical hacking group, they want to cast a wide net to make a quick buck. The Lotus Blossom group, though, was extremely selective. They only deployed their final payload against those high-value targets we talked about earlier. Their goal was pure intelligence.
Now, comparing this to the infamous SolarWinds hack is really telling. With SolarWinds, you had Russian spies putting a backdoor directly into the code. Here, you have a China-linked group hijacking the update system itself. Two totally different methods, but both are terrifying supply chain attacks with the exact same endgame: espionage.
Okay, so let's get to the most important part. What does all this mean for you? If you use Notepad++, you need to take action, like right now, to make sure you are safe.
I've got 3 simple steps for you, super important. First, check what version of the software you're actually running. Second, and this is critical, go directly to the official Notepad++ website.
Don't use the in-app updater for this one. Download the very latest version straight from the source. And third, please spread the word. Let your friends and colleagues know so they can protect themselves too.
You know, this whole mess leaves us with a really big, kind of uncomfortable question. We're always told that automatic updates are the best way to stay safe. But as we just saw, that very system of trust can be turned into a weapon. So, are we so focused on convenience that we're accidentally leaving the back door wide open for spies? Let me know what you think down in the comments.